Hey everybody, Hellcrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode, 223? So, 223 episodes. So, if you haven't caught up on all of them, go back and watch them. They're in the playlist. Alright, so, the War Dog, 75-ton mech that, well, yeah. Alright, it's a 460, so it's your typical slow inner sphere mech. It has a 300 XL engine, so you know how I feel about XLs. That XL is there because it has to have it to put something big on, which is in the weapons. It does have 10 double heat sinks, so it can dissipate 20, and really doesn't necessarily need all 20, but it can use them. It has 215 points of armor, which is, 15 short of max, I think? Well, yeah, something like that. So if you put another ton on, you're fine. But the armor on this thing is ferrofibrous, so yeah, you don't necessarily need a full ton to get some benefit out of it. Especially if you got a mech that has XL engines. Yes, I want the armor maxed out, so at least I can survive a little bit longer. You know, when you say this mech's designed to fight the clans, well, yeah. You probably need a little more mobility. If you're going to put XLs on it, speed it up. At least make it a 5.8. You know, at least get the benefit of that. Alright, so moving on. Primary weapons. A Gauss rifle with 2 tons of ammo in the right torso and right arm. Okay, you got a 4.6 mover, you got a Gauss rifle. All right, I can get behind that. It's not much different than having a Victor with a Gauss rifle. All right, your primary weapons that throw nickel-plated steel slug downrange and punch holes through people. All right, I can get behind that. Now, this is the two things that just had me scratching my head going, what is this? An SRM2 Streak, 1 shot in the right leg and left leg. You have 3 tons on this mech wrapped up into something that you get a lock on, yeah, sure, it fires, and then it's done. You just wasted 3 tons on something that gonna do 8 points of damage. Why? Who in their right mind would do such a thing? It's just boggles the mind. It's like, why you would even bother with that. So, there's going to be some changes that I would do with that. All right, left arm, we have a large pulse laser. I'm not a big fan of the large pulse laser for the inner sphere. Now, if I had a clan one, I'm behind that 100%. I love the clan large pulse laser, but in an inner sphere one, you get 10 hexes for 9 points of damage. Sure, you got the -2 to hit with, which is great with pulse weapons. Fine, I love that. But I'd rather have it as a ERPPC. At least I can use it in combination with the Gauss rifle. See, then you're doing 25 points of damage out at long range. You're throwing that big steel slug down range, punching holes in, and you back it up with an ERPPC. Large pulse laser. Well, I'd rather have a medium laser. All right, then we have a Guardian ECM. Okay, I'm in the center torso. No problem with that. I like that. And in the left torso, we have a medium pulse laser. And in the right arm, we have a medium pulse laser. Alrighty. And then we have in the head a small pulse laser facing to the rear. Yeah. Okay. What are you afraid someone's going to jump behind you and you're going to turn around and say, I'm going to shoot my little small pulse laser at you? Yeah. I got no words for that. It's just, And then we have an anti-missile system in the right torso with a ton of ammo. Okay, fine. It's interesting is that an anti-missile system, it's helpful, especially if you're fighting off a units that are heavy in the missile, and it give you some protection for a short period of time. So it's one of those deals where, yeah, it's useful, and then eventually it's going to run out. But it's not like it's a bunch of tonnage. You know, you got 1.5 tons wrapped up. Oh, what's that? Oh, ton and a half wrapped up in an anti-missile system. Huh. What on this mech could you have used and maybe give it a second one or something? Yeah. All right, I'll just go over everything. Now, the mech itself, with just one change, leave the mech, if you were stuck and say, hey, I'm stuck with this mech and I'm going to leave it the same. I guess the one thing I would do is put an ER PPC on it. And then I could use it more of a fire support role, sit back and shoot around, find myself like some heavy woods and just park it and go to town. Now, that's his primary role. It's not fast. It's not going to run down any, let's say, clan mechs or any medium fast mechs. It's just your run-of-the-mill slug thrower that you want to keep at a distance. It's not, but if somebody does get in close, you do have some weapon systems to do some damage. So you're actually doing more damage probably up close within 6. Because you have those 2 medium pulse lasers, they only got 6 hexes. So you're kind of stuck having to get in someone's face to take advantage of those, you know, those pulse systems that you have on board. So you basically have 11 tons wrapped up in, actually it's more than that, it's 14 tons wrapped up in short range stuff. That's not, oh, that's actually 15 tons. Well, that's almost another Gauss rifle wrapped up into this short range stuff that it's kind of using weapon systems I'm not a big fan of. Now, what would I do with this? Well, funny you ask. You know, he already told you the first thing I would do. Remove the large pulse laser and give an ER-PPC. Because an ER-PPC, even if they're at 1 hex away, you don't have to worry about the minimum range, and you can just hammer away with it and do 10 points of damage. Yes, it comes with 15 heat. With a Gauss rifle, that would put you at 16. If you run, that's 18. You're cool. You don't have any problems. All right. Now, here's the interesting thing I would do. Get rid of the one-shot streaks. There's 3 tons you can play with. I'm going to grab 1 ton and throw it into armor. Take another half ton, put case on this thing. Or actually, even another ton, you can put case on both sides. That leaves you another ton to play with. And I probably put a medium laser on board just to replace those one-shot streaks. And go to town with that. Now, another option would be get rid of the anti-missile system, and that would give you some more tonnage to play with, and like another medium laser, you know, with that. And I didn't really look. I think you probably could even put another heat sink on it, because the speed of it, I think you can put 13 or 14 heat sinks on this thing before it starts going into the body. So there you go. So pretty much, let me look. I think yeah, there is 1 variant on this mech. Let me look here. Yep, 1 variant, which is the 03FC version. This one gets rid of the Gauss rifle, replaces it with a heavy Gauss rifle, and it has an ER-PPC. Okay, I can get behind that. Has 3 ER medium lasers and 2 medium pulse lasers and a C3 slave for linking in. They took a lot of things and improved upon it. Now, the one thing I'd rather just have the standard Gauss rifle instead of the heavy, because, you know, heavy weapons, they cause you harder to hit problems. So I've never been a fan of the heavy weapon systems that, you know, make it harder. Unless you got a really good pilot on board and you're able to go that route. Sure, that's an option. But yeah, I would definitely get rid of the large pulse laser, replace it with an ER-PPC, keep the heavy Gauss rifle as a standard, and then, you know, use the extra tonnage, however it may be. Like, because I wonder where they stole extra heat, or maybe they got rid of those anti-missile system and those one shots. Probably that's what they did to get themselves that heavy Gauss rifle, because I don't have a readout on it. Then there's the Clan Coyote got their hands on one of these things and redesigned them. And let's see, this one uses Indosteel instead of ferrofibers. Okay, they can, well, it's clan weapons. They can easily get their hands on that stuff and flip-flop. Carries a standard XL engine, you know, probably a clan XL engine. Has 16 double heat sinks, 4 jump jets. Hey, that's even better. And then the right arm carries an LBX-10. So you downgraded the Gauss rifle to an LBX cannon. Okay, I'm not a problem with that because I like the LBX-10 cannon. And then it carries around 2 large pulse lasers. Ooh, okay. And then it has a pair of Streak 2s. I'm thinking they probably put a ton of ammo with that. And then the right torso has an anti-missile system and an ER small laser mounted in the head, or in the torso. And the anti-missile system and Streaks each had 1 ton of ammunition. Okay, so it did, and 3 tons of ammo for the LBX. So that's an interesting little mech to play with, especially when it's probably armed up with clan weapons. That would be an interesting little mech to play with sometime if I can get a readout on that. All right, so that is it in a nutshell. As a mercenary, my thoughts are, if you got your hands on one of these things, I'd just trade it for a standard Marauder and put an upgrade kit on it, or an Orion, put an upgrade kit, and then move on. You know, you're not losing anything. Because you still got a 4.6.0, you might as well go with something that's a little more reliable and not have to worry about an XL engine. Now, if you're a house, you're stuck with it. You know, that's just the nature of the beast, and you have to play with what you have. But Mercs are a different story. It's like, yeah, you can make some options. And the bottom line is, a mercenary company running with high-tech equipment and stuff that needs XLs and everything, it's really hard to, it's like supply line problems. It's like the houses will be the ones that get the primary, they probably have the primary contract for those high-tech items, and the secondary is going to be the Mercs. So you may be waiting a long time before you can find a replacement engine, and yeah, might as well go with a standard. There you go. There's plenty of those running around. Okay, so that's the War Dog in a nutshell. If you have it and you don't like it as a Merc, sell it and slap your hands on something new. All right, that's everything. And I'm Hellcrix, and we'll talk to y'all later. Hellcrix out.